Okay. Oh no. Ooh. Lekker. See if I can get myself here. Okay, looks like I am live here. Not 100% sure how this works. Can everyone see me? Maybe I should just... Oh, where's the chats and everything? Okay, let me just see if I can see if everyone's on here. Looks like from my computer everything is on here. Okay. Kan ek jou foon gebruik? Okay, hello. Now I can see comments, sorry. I'm not 100% sure how these things work on my computer. Oh no, you've got double audio. Okay, so I've got the Aussie Lawn. Hello mate. Another Australian YouTuber. He knows quite a bit more than I do. Leon Loss, hello. Like it my chum? Hoop het gaan goed daarso. So we'll just give it a few seconds, and if there's any questions, you can start shooting them right away. Leon, you've probably got a ton of questions. Yeah. Okay, so the Aussie Lawn says, what's happening with the putting green there, mate? So while we wait for everyone to jump on here and asking some beginner questions. Hey, let me actually take the camera here and show you guys what's up with the putting green. So I said in a previous video that I wasn't going to seed more on this putting green right here. But now I've put some seed down because I actually saw that some of the grasses start germinating there. Just through, like, it's quite a warm period of time and it's still starting to, well, showing some germination. So I actually put more sand and seed down there. But the green is looking lekker. I'm not actually 100% sure what height I've got the mowing at the moment there. It's probably around 6 mil. But things are looking up. It's just very, like, hot and dryish. So things are like doing okay. I've started also adding growth regulator now because the leaves were quite big. So I'm going to try and treat it as a green now to get the playability lacquer, but it's actually going very well. I can see a lot of root mass creeping in there and all those type of things. Okay, so here's a couple of comments now. Carl Rousseau, how's it? Mignon, also from Australia. Hello, that's my sister. Dankie Nonnie dat jy op is. And yeah, Aussie Lawn, it looks pretty good, yeah. So, I'll say, Dean Smith, hello. I'm from Malmesbury, Western Cape, 40 minutes from Cape Town. How's the weather there in Cape Town? Owens, yeah, us oaks here in Joburg and Pretoria, we don't really know what's going on there in Cape Town with the weather. You guys have got most of flipped season there, so it's raining in the winter and it's dry in the summer. Greg, love your show. Serious lawn envy. Thanks, man. Leon Loss, will you replace the KBG? And with what would you replace it? No, Leon, I'm not replacing the Kentucky bluegrass with anything at the moment. That's also looking lekker. Let me show you guys while we've got some time on hands. It's not going to be a very long live stream, guys, but look there. The KBG is actually suffering in the heat at the moment. needs a bit of a cut, but looking lekker. I'm trying to get my height of cut up a little bit there, just to make it a little bit more drought tolerant or drought resistant, if that makes sense to you. So Leon, I'm not replacing that with anything. Another one from Albury, New South Wales. I'm not even going to pronounce that. DB Rai 03. So lekker. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Yeah, you know, we've got so much in common with Australia because we've got the same season. It feels like the rest of the stuff out there is all guys having summer through June and July. So, you know, all the Northern Hemisphere. And so it's lekker. I see on my channel a lot of like an influx of Australian subscribers as well. So that's very lekker, very, very lekker. That's probably also why us South Africans find such good information from the Aussie lawn, also lawn tips and those type of things. So that's very lekker. Okay, so the Aussie lawn is just rubbing it in here, talking about the rugby. I don't think we need to talk too much about the rugby today against Australia. You guys beat us there with our own game plan on your home field. That was pretty embarrassing. Okay, so is there any questions, guys? Shoot some questions if you've got any questions. It's not going to be a very long live stream. We'll do it max for, like I would say, another 15 minutes or so. I'm very sorry, I can't get to, I'm terrible with social medias and like emails and those type of things. So it's very difficult for me to always reply people in time. Sometimes I only reply a month later and then it's like kind of irrelevant when they've struggled with an issue. So if you've got any questions, please shoot them through and I'll try and answer them as good as I can. Or maybe some of the knowledgeable people here on this chat can also maybe give some advice. Yeah, okay, so Dylan here, what is this? Dylan Billington asks how the front part is going. So before I get to the front part, I'm actually holding back a little bit with my renovation on the middle sector, my main Kikuyu area, just because I've got a borehole and it's not pumping so much water at the moment. Obviously, I haven't had rain for the last 4 or 5 months. So I'm only getting about 1,000 liters per day, which this KBG is taking, this bluegrass is taking a lot of that water. And now I'm also irrigating quite frequently out in the front. So to get back to the front area, it's actually looking flippin' lekker. I'm not going to walk there. I actually wanted to do like a yard tour because I don't know if people really know what my yard looks like. But the problem is my Wi-Fi router doesn't catch up everywhere. So as soon as I lose signal, I actually tried it this morning. Yeah, then it loses signal and then I'm not, yeah, I don't think it's going to work so lekker. Yeah, okay, so Mr. Leroux asks, what is the best grass for shade? Okay, so it depends where you live, Jean. So if you're in a warm season climate, I would say probably LM is the best in our area. If you're in Joburg or Pretoria, then I would say LM is the best. You could obviously go for your cool season grass types is quite shade tolerant. So I know a lot of the golf courses here gooi some ryegrass seed down through the winter periods, or well, actually whenever, in the shaded areas where the Kikuyu doesn't quite make it, just because the traffic that they have to deal with, the cool season grasses deal with that a little bit better on. So it's I won't say LM is the only grass type for shade, but LM obviously works very well in shade. So if you don't have a lot of traffic, like in your shaded areas, then LM is probably going to be your best bet. Gary B, hello Merrick. I say, lekker. Hello, Gary B. Marco Kutzer, lekker, Merrick. John Leroux, only a pleasure. Wynand Jonker, lawn lyk goed, lekker jaloers ook vanaf die Kaap. Rebecca Steel, as jy kan doen vir ons een of ander tyd 'n episode oor lawn care in ons klimaat. Kyk, graag lekker show. Okay, so it's actually quite difficult for me to do something specifically for Cape Town because just because I don't know the climate that well. So the people with experience there will probably know a lot better. I know it's hot and dry summers, so to be honest with you, Wynand, it's going to be difficult to me. I should probably do some research. I think there's quite a lot of Cape Townians now also following along, so it's actually quite bad of me not to have a direct answer to this question of yours. Thanks, Wynand. Dankie dat jy verstaan. It's only water, it's not a GNTA. Okay, have I missed anything yet? Yeah, so I don't know if Christu is on the chat now, but Christu also knows quite a lot. Christu, I don't know if I should say surname. No, every Cape Townian is going to bug him. But he lives in Cape Town, and I won't say we're chatting regularly, but yeah, I think it's quite difficult there because obviously you're sitting with fungus issues and like wet grass through the winter, which we don't deal with at all. And through the summers, you're trying to get your grass type as drought tolerant as possible. So Cape Town is quite a tricky area to grow grass in. Okay, so Doug, okay, thanks. What would you say to my friend Trent, who scalped his kikuyu early in spring before the warm weather has kicked in? Okay, so kikuyu is pretty resilient. So the only reason why I don't like scalping too early is because when you still got a risk of frost, then sometimes you stunt that open root system of your kikuyu. So I'm not a great fan of this, but obviously if you scalp it early and you get some growth early, you'll obviously have the green lawn first. So that's one of the motivations to do it early, but obviously you don't want to do it too early because sitting with dirt is not very beneficial in my opinion. And obviously it just exposes your grass. So that the actual leaf blade kind of protects the soil and the root system. So yeah. Okay, so moved into a new house and there are 3 areas, 2 quite large, where the queer or Bermuda is creeping all over through the kikuyu. How do I get rid of it with as little inconvenience, etc. as possible? Okay, so queer is probably the thing that every South African knows. It's that more greyish type of Bermuda, which you can quite easily tell apart from kikuyu. So if you don't want to kill it off and start over, I would say the best strategy is to focus with a little bit more nitrogen in the earlier periods of summer or spring, and then also in autumn, focusing with a little bit more nitrogen there. So Kweek really, really likes very, very warm temperatures. I'm talking like 30 and even above 30 he's quite comfortable with through the day. So if you can focus the areas where the kikuyu wakes up earlier, so focus nitrogen there to try and outcompete the Kweek there while it still sits dormant. I've got a little bit of Kweek actually in my main section of kikuyu there, and I can see it's still sitting dormant. It's waking up now, whereas the kikuyu is already like sprung alive. So focus on the beginning of the season and the end of the season to try and get your kikuyu to really creep sideways there and try and like outcompete it. Yeah, okay, so the Aussie Lawn says, what's your plans for height of cut for the kikuyu out near the roadside? So I'm going quite tall there. I try to go low actually now. So I've mowed it, I think 3 times already after the renovation to try and get it a little bit lower, but I'm probably going to end up at around 30 mils. Just because it is so uneven, it really just scalps in some areas, even with a cylinder mower. So that's quite a tricky area for me. I would like to actually do a proper renovation there where maybe remove some grass or do like a proper leveling situation there. But I don't think I'm going to see or get myself convinced to do that this season, maybe next season. So yeah, they are always end up cutting a little bit taller, unfortunately. Oh, and I'm saying unfortunately because I actually quite like the look of low-cut turf. Lawrence Small, good day, mate. These Australians, I love the accent. Absolutely love it. Okay, so Christian Smith says, why are you not sitting on your lawn? Typical Smitty. You know, Smitty is the one that I always joke with in the videos. Smitty is also now busy with his borehole. Smitty, I hope you're winning there. Putting up a JoJo tank to also take the borehole water and pump it into the house. You're lucky, you've got a strong borehole, Smitty. So yeah, I'm not sitting on my lawn because I was too lazy to take the umbrella onto the lawn. Actually, I should have actually just done that. But yeah, I've got everything set up here now. Dean Smith, Will you ever try perennial ryegrass? Oh yes, I would absolutely do that. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, but there I'm doing like a renovation, a complete renovation on my neighbour's lawn, or part of his lawn, and we're going with RPR there, the Barenbrug RPR brand there. So yes, I absolutely love perennial ryegrass. Lawrence Small, PRGCs. Yeah, so I love ryegrass. It's a very easy grass type to get up and running, whereas KBG really takes a year to a year and a half to fully establish. I think ryegrass, the guys with a lot of experience will probably know a little bit better than I do, but you can get it established fairly quickly. And it looks awesome. It really stripes up so well. Guys who's looking for like a complete different look, maybe in a complex or whatever, and you've got some water spared, I don't know, somewhere, maybe you're harvesting water from your gutters, or maybe you've got a borehole or whatever, maybe try a cool season grass type. It's quite significant, the difference. But I must say, Kikuyu is still probably my favorite grass type, so yeah. Dean, just to get back to your question there, so we're sitting there with ryegrass now, but I actually thought it might look cool to maybe overseed with some ryegrass here on my Kentucky bluegrass lawn right here. So I think it's a great grass type. I actually just got Kentucky bluegrass. It was even before I had a borehole, because that was the cool season grass type which is most drought tolerant. That and tall fescue, but tall fescue you've got to mow very tall. So I wasn't looking to mow tall, so I had to go for something that I can mow low. So I went for Kentucky bluegrass. Okay, so the Aussie Lawn asks, how warm is it there today? We had mid to high 20s at home here today. So we've got, actually today we've got similar weather, but through the week it was fairly warm. We had temperatures creeping up to almost 30 degrees Celsius here in Johannesburg. I know Pretoria gets even a little bit warmer, so the Pretoria Oaks maybe have seen 30 already. So it's quite warm here, and it is extremely low humidity and like very, very dry. Like always this time of the year. I don't know if you guys seen my hands, but it is absolutely shocking how bad my hands look. This time of the year, everything just dries out. I've got like I don't know, it's terrible, whatever. So it's very dry, so it's a difficult time of the year, but the temperatures will obviously start to gradually increase now. Okay, I have Kentucky bluegrass and tall. Johan Slabbert commenting this. Sorry, I have KBG and tall mix under a Witstone coat, but I don't mow that low. Also small garden. Okay, lekker. Okay, so he's not asking a question, but that's pretty cool. Johan, also comment there how it's faring there. Is it growing properly? Do you find that the cool season grasses is a little bit more shade tolerant? Ooh, okay. Greg, sorry, you say second try. I don't know if I missed the comment. Sorry. Any ideas on dealing with mole crickets? Okay, so I haven't struggled myself with mole crickets, but there's a couple of guys I know. Actually, the owner of the professional factory posted yesterday on a WhatsApp group that he found a mole cricket in his yard. So that's a very difficult one. I believe the guy's treated with Meridian. I've never had that, so I've never used that product on it, but I believe it's quite difficult to control. So Meridian, you might want to ask Sharon at Grasses and Greens, I don't know if you're in our area, to give you more advice on what you can use if you're struggling with that issue, and also the application rates. I've never used it, so I can't really give you an honest opinion, but I believe guys have gotten it under control with that product, yeah. But that's one of the toughest ones. You know, your worms, and like I just posted a video this morning about ants and those type of things. Those things you can really control, but I believe mole crickets a little bit tricky. Okay, so Johan already commented, growing well, just interseeded in the very shady parts. Third always, what? 1/3 always in the home shade. Okay, so yeah, so he's got about 60% sun there, so it's doing well. Thanks, Johan, that's great to hear. So just to encourage the guys who's struggling with shades, obviously I've got a million trees here. Well, that's exaggeration, but I've got a lot of trees, so it really is a factor in home lawns. I know they always say, no, you can't grow grass in shade. But unfortunately, you don't have acres of space always and those type of things. So growing grass in shade, obviously you need to manage it. So I actually found, it's not a trick, and most of you should know this, but if you've got trees and you're struggling or suckling with shade, or your grass choked out by shade, always trimming the bottom of the tree. Let's say you take like this tree now. So the bottom part of this tree will create the most shade right there. So if you actually trim the tree to only have the leaves on top, you can actually quite successfully grow grass in shade. So that's just something to keep in mind. Trim your trees before you just cut them off maybe, or maybe just give up on your lawn or whatever. Because it is quite tricky to, and also obviously if you've got grass in shaded areas, mow as tall as possible. Remember, your grass blade is a solar panel, so the more sunlight it generates, the more food it has, so the more stronger it will grow. So just keep that in mind. Trim your trees at the bottom so your shade is on top. So what that'll do is it'll keep your leaves obviously on top, so as the sun moves around it, your shade will obviously also move around, so a single part won't get like 10 hours of shade or won't find any sunlight. Would like to see some bamboo in your garden. It's part of the grass family after all. Oh really? I didn't even know that. So yeah, maybe I will. Maybe if you send me one, I'll plant it. Okay, so Nikki van Sail says, mole crickets is a pest here in our complex, which is a never-ending battle. Yeah. Thank you. We'll look into grasses and greens products. Great show. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Nikki. Would you ever do Kweek or Bermuda lawn? Yeah. So obviously there's a lot of different Bermuda varieties, and I'm pretty sure there is a good one. This back lawn here was Kweek. I believe it once, many years ago. This was my father-in-law's house, which we bought from him. So many years ago, there was actually Kikuyu here, but I'm pretty sure the people who lived in this house since never put water down, and this poor soil with like it just doesn't hold on to water. Actually, yeah, I'll tell you about this mistake that I made before I started here, but I think there was very little water retention here, and the Kweek just started creeping in and taking over, and 3 years ago there was only Kweek here. But if I find a nice Bermuda variety, I would surely grow that. I think it's a lacquer grass type, obviously very drought tolerant, so lacquer to work with something that you don't always have to pamper, because this is what it is. I mean, I love doing that. I love spending time out here and watering pots and those type of things, but you have to pamper this grass, whereas Bermuda is really almost like a kuyu. Tough, you flip and scalp it down to the soil. It's a tough grass type, difficult to kill. Christo Espach, sup son. Christo, we need your inputs here on keeping grass in Cape Town. Not something I know too much about. Nicodemus, g'day Merrick. How's it, Nicodemus? Okay, hi Merrick. My Kikuyu lawn has loads of nutsedge. What can I do to suppress it? What's the product's name? I'm going to tell you now. So once again, you can contact Grasses and Greens. They'll give you a product, and it always works out a little bit cheaper to use the products which you buy in a little bit bigger bulk at Grasses and Greens. But I'm going to tell you now the product's name that I used the other day. If I remember it, I'll tell you now. But there's actually I can't remember. I keep thinking of Sledgehammer, but that's something that they use overseas. But if I remember the name now, I'll tell you now. But you can find it at your general stores as well, Builders Warehouse, pretty sure Leroy Merlin, and as well as Chamberlain's. So just go and check on the shelves there, but you can quite effectively control it. I promise you, I had nutsedge here. I did one application with a store product, so it's not a professional grade product, and I controlled it completely. I've never seen a single nutsedge in this grass again. Ooh, okay, so Cobus Vermeel and what would you use for paspalum on bluegrass? I actually don't know. I don't know. That's a very good question. If somebody knows what you can use to control paspalum in bluegrass, please comment it here. I don't know if there's what you can use. Okay, so Dean Smith asks, how does overseeding work? Can you overseed cool season grass over warm season grass in Cape Town because of our wet winters? Yes, you certainly can. One thing that you will have to keep in mind is if you have a dry summer like you guys will have in Cape Town, or generally have in Cape Town, your cool season grass is not as drought tolerant, requires more water, likes cooler temperatures, like suffers in heat, those type of things. So it probably will die off through the summer again, and your warm season grasses will probably like outcompete it through the summer period. But yes, definitely you can like overseed cool season grasses on warm season. But remember that like kweek or Bermuda and kikuyu is very aggressive spreaders, so it really takes over an area quite quickly. So if it's just like if you're using ryegrass just for the winter, then it's lekker. Then you can obviously do it. It'll have beautiful color. The rain will probably take care of most of the irrigation for you and all those type of things. So it's maybe not a bad idea just to gooi it down, see what happens. If it doesn't work, then you don't do it the next season. And ryegrass is pretty cheap as well. Guy Williams, the professional guys are also here. Guy Williams, do you like the cap, Mr. Williams? King Merrick. I won't call myself King Merrick, but thank you so much. Karel Chris Swanepoel, the winner of the professional lawnmower. Is this the same Karel Chris Swanepoel? Because I am very, very jealous, guys. Shissy. Okay. I'm very, very jealous. Karel, please let us know in the comment section how your mower is going, if you're even mowing yet, because I'm quite jealous of you. Okay. Okay, so the cover, no, I don't know how to pronounce that. Hey, Merrick, the fiddle leaf fig looking as good as your lawn. I'm assuming that this is a fiddle leaf fig. My wife is sitting here. Is it a fiddle leaf fig? Or she's nodding her head, but I don't think either of us knows whether there's a fiddle leaf fig. But thank you so much. It's such a lovely plant. It's my absolute favorite house plant. I had to put it next to me here just to bring in a little bit of a vibe here. Thanks. Guy, thanks, nice cap. I really appreciate it. You guys gave this one to me. They also gave me an umbrella, and they assured me, professional gave me an umbrella, and they assured me that I am the only person in the world to have a using, or whatever, professional umbrella. Sure, I'm very chuffed about my umbrella. Okay. Abu Boss asks, what do you recommend for harvested termites eating up my lawn? So I actually had termites here at the back on the Kentucky bluegrass, and I'm pretty sure I treated it with cypermethrin, and I actually controlled them. I had a look the following year, which was, last year. I couldn't see any sign of it. So I'm pretty sure that controlled it. So I know they're quite harsh as well, and they move. They flip and eat as well. I tell you, they spread quite quickly. So it is controllable. Yes, I hope that helps. Christy, where can I get a cap like that? Christy, if you want this one, you can make me an offer, and I'll send it through to you. Or maybe send it through Pudo or whatever. No problem, Dean. Hey, Merrick. Show the product to control nuts. Oh, it's Servian. Okay. So Servian for nutsedge. I can't remember now who asked that question, but Cervian is the product to use to control nutsedge, and it works. Believe me, it's not something that you probably will sickle with a lot. I'll see now this year what happens through the very like wet part of December or January or whatever. So yeah. Striper Man. Oh, the king is in the house here, guys. Striper Man. I hope your renovation is going lekker there. He's also replanting his entire lawn. So, yeah. Karel Chris Swanepoel. Mo is absolutely awesome. Merrick, you can take it for a spin if you are in Pretoria. I'm going to take you up on your offer. I'm definitely going to come through and mow with your mower. No. Okay, guys. So, there's a bit of a confusion that the products that you add to your lawn will harm your lawn. Yes, and that is true to some extent. But if you actually just read the label rate, I think the best advice that I can ever give someone is to, whatever problem you struggle with, whether you're dealing with insects or with fungus or whatever, if you actually stick to the label rate, you won't pick up a problem. Make sure that the grass type is listed in the product that you're using, and make sure you stick to the label rate. If they say, gooi 20 mils in 1 liter of water, then do that. Okay. Oh, Janelle, my sister, my other sister. Go Kikuyu, best grass type in the world. Next elections, guys, I'm voting for Kikuyu as president. Oh, it's now municipal elections. Kikuyu for municipal elections. Okay, so we're almost going to wrap it up. I don't know if there's any more questions. I think we've been busy for how long now? About 30 minutes. So yeah, if there's any last questions, please shoot them through on anything. Even if it's a personal question, renovation related question, watering questions, whatever you want to ask. Gooi. Okay, so Leon Loss is building a new house. If you're still listening, I want to know what grass type you're going to use at your new place. Okay, have I missed anything? If I missed anything, please just comment it again, and then I'll see. Okay, my sister now. So emotionally, how do you cope with Mila? That's our small dog, the toy pom, using your green as a lure. I must say the dogs is probably the most frustrating thing that you actually just can't get under control. So I'll have to think of maybe building a fence there, but she wees on the green. Whether she wees here on this grass, she kills it. Whether she wees, obviously the green is like even worse. She wees on the green and it just leaves big dead spots like this. And I know it's weird because if you look afterwards, after a week, the rings, it looks like fairy rings on the Kikuyu fairways. I don't know if you guys know what fairy ring is, but it's a fungus which spreads outwards, and then it leaves this. It's got something to do with organic matter or something that breaks down. I'm not 100% sure how that disease works, but it leaves this ring on the outer parts of this fungus, which looks like it's over-fertilized because it's like an influx of growth. And you can see that weed does the same thing. It kills it in the middle, and then the outer parts just gets an influx of growth. So yeah, that's quite terrible. Greg asks, where are you in Jersey? I'm actually in Helderkruin in Rodepoort. So yeah, I'm in Helderkruin here in Rodepoort. Actually a very nice area. Yeah, but that's where I am. I don't actually know. It's so difficult. I see all these names and I recognize a lot of them, and it's difficult to know where your viewers come from. So it's actually lucky to chat to people and see where they're from and what they experience with grasses in different types of the country. Hi Merrick, how low have you mowed and maintained your Kikuyu? That's from what's it? Lachlan Banksmith. I think the lowest I've gone on my Kikuyu is 15 mil. But you can go pretty low. I know I'm a member at Rand Park Golf Club, and they mow their fairways at below 10 mils when it's tournament time. So Kikuyu is pretty forgiving. The problem is you've got to mow it like all the time there. So it's quite a job to take it down to that level. Good time now, obviously, with renovations to attempt to bring down your height of cut. But the lowest, I'm pretty sure the lowest I've gone there is 15 mils, which is fairly low. Hi, America. How often do you recommend I water my alum lawn? From Etienne Smith. Okay, so watering your lawn, I've heard of quite a lot over the last period of time. A lot of people, even here around me, I see water their lawns every single day. We're sitting here with warm season lawns, Aaron's. So it's quite frustrating to hear that people water their lawns every day. So in actual fact, you want to water your lawn as little as possible to train your roots to grow as deep as possible. So when your lawn tells you it needs water, that'll give you a great indication, if whether that's after 4 days or 5 days or 3 days or 10 days, that'll give you a great indication when to water your lawn. So if, let's say, my kikuyu lawn dries out after 5 days, I know after 4 days is probably, so obviously you don't want your lawn to suffer, but after 4 days would probably be a great indication of when to water your lawn. And it's difficult to say you should you should water every second day, every fourth day, once a week, because every situation is different. Everyone's climate is different. Everyone's like duration of sun is a little bit different. In other words, shade and trees and those type of things. Everyone's water retention in the soil is different. So you've got to figure that part out for yourself. The main thing is if you've got warm season grass types, they're pretty resilient. Don't overwater them. You don't want to sit with things like fungus where you don't really need to be struggling with those type of issues in a kikuyu lawn. Really, like I know my kikuyu lawn, 2 waterings per week, more than enough. Okay, so Jake says, Abu Boss, look at getting some chickens. We got chickens over chemicals as I had termite wipe out almost my lawn, or almost my whole lawn, sorry. So that's quite interesting. So they obviously control the termites, and I can believe that. You know, I see the dead parts in my lawn, the hardy does. They target those areas. They know that the dead parts are normally caused by worms. So very interesting. Also the other day when I opened up my compost heap, there was large grubs, I promise you, fat things, man. And the hardy does attack those things. They absolutely love it. So pretty effective. Well, if it is effective, that would be awesome. Johan Slabbert, excellent videos of and those 3 front lawn renovation videos. I was rolling on the floor. Thank you, Johan, for the positive feedback. Celia Swanepoel. Well, Lauren Small, Blarry Barocca, yes, see the dogs, eh? I tell you what, the main reason we can't have beautiful things, eh? Silas one, our KBG is 1 month old. What watering schedule would you recommend? Okay, so I assume that everything has germinated. We've had some lacquer weather, so I assume that everything has germinated by now and you're not putting some more seed down. Then you can gradually try and get it as infrequent as possible. I would say maybe once a day or maybe every second day for now. Once again, difficult to say exactly what your scenario is, but you shouldn't have seed wash away, so you can gooi lekker lots of water now. Try and get your roots as deep as possible. Obviously target your P number in your fertilizer to get your roots as deep as possible. So yeah, and this is probably the hardest time. I promise you. Who said this now? Was it okay, Cecilia, sorry. Cecilia Swanepoel. Cecilia, I struggle with the same thing. I promise you, September, October is tough times on cool season grasses. It's difficult to keep it hydrated. Just wait for December. I promise you, once that rain comes, you're going to have a lacquer lawn. Leon says he's going to do ryegrass, ideally to buy a professional lawnmower to do some stripes. That's the plan. Lacquer, Leon, sounds like you've got your plan figured out there. Nicodemus, do you watch other lawn care YouTube channels? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Let me tell you, that was the entire motivation of this YouTube channel. I was searching day in, day out for content in South Africa, looking at how guys treat their lawns. Actually, when I started this YouTube channel, I actually had very, very little knowledge. I actually only knew Kikuyu, and I literally didn't know too much. I gained a lot of information from the greenkeeper at my old golf club, P.S. Penberth. He unfortunately passed away. I gained a lot of information from him. I was speaking to him quite frequently regarding different issues and those type of things. That's why I'm not that knowledge. I won't say I know even a little bit of lawn care, to be honest with you. So that was the main motivation. I still watch a lot of video. I love some of the American content. This Aussie Lawn, I always watch him. He's very, very clued up, and he's dealing, like I say, more or less the same seasonal changes as we do. Also lawn tips, all those type of things. Great channels, really. Also watch, obviously, great other channel is Ryan Knorr. Also, the Lawn Rebel is hilariously funny. I can't, when he posts a video, I literally have to stop whatever I'm doing and watch his video first. And what's the other one? Also, I'm subscribed to Lawn Care Night, a lot of channels. I'm probably subscribed to most of them. So yeah, I do watch a lot of other YouTube lawn care channels. Lachlan Banks Smith. Thanks, Merrick. Watching from Australia. Most houses in suburban Australia are Kikuyu. Same as us here. Pick us. That's what we do here. Your videos are very relevant to Australia, and we have the same season at the same time as you. All the best. That's why it works so well. Us in Australia, South Africa and Australia really mingles up very, very well. So Lawrence Small said, you heard about me from Ben at Lawn Tips. Yeah, so he actually came across my, I don't know, Instagram channel or whatever. So we started chatting and all those type of things, and he shared. So that's obviously where Lawrence Small saw that. So yeah, lekker. That also put me on the map there. Yeah, they're very good. Nicodemus, I agree with you 100%. Lawn Tips and the Aussie Lawn are very, very good channels. Really, like both of them, more or less the same scenarios as us, flipping, scalping down to the soil level, all those type of things. I know Lawn Tips has bought a very, very big property now, and he's got mainly Kikuyu there. So if there's any other channel besides mine that you want to watch, go and watch those two channels, the Aussie Lawn and also Lawn Tips. Ben Sims, they're really doing very relevant stuff to what we're experiencing here in South Africa. Kyle, love watching you guys in the Southern Hemisphere mowing while it's snowing here in England. England, lekker. Yeah, so you guys, Northern Hemisphere, obviously approaching your winter now. So I hope you had a lekker season there, Kyle, and a beautiful lawn. Geez, by profile picture, it looks impeccable. I don't know if you took a picture of somebody else's lawn. Robert Brand, hey, so I just spread my Kikuyu seeds today. Still in the learning stages, but learned a lot from your channel. Thank you so much, Robert Brand. I really, really do appreciate that. And it's awesome to hear feedback like this. This is probably what drives the channel, to be honest with you. So yeah. Okay, yeah, so Yusuf Mayat says, hello, how often and how much to water Kikuyu after doing a renovation? Thanks. This is one of the last questions, guys. We're almost going to wrap it up. So if you've got anything, please post it quickly. I want to wrap this up. It's almost approaching like 45 minutes now. So Yusuf, I would say more often you really want to get it out of dormancy now. And with our temperatures, that's quite warm now, 25, 26. I don't know if you're in Joburg. I'm assuming that you're in the Highveld somewhere. If you don't water, it's obviously going to go into drought dormancy. So you get obviously your cold dormancy through the winter and drought dormancy. So you don't want that to happen after renovation, in my opinion. So if you can pull through the next month or so before it rains, hopefully we get rain soon, that'll be great. But I would say maybe every third day, twice a week. That's a good, like a good medium. There's nothing is set in stone with watering. So try and figure out what your lawn likes, but gooi lekker amount of water every 3 or 4 days. Sean Williams, extended a section of lawn that used to be a flower bed and the ground level has sunk a bit over the last year. Made a small drop off. How often can I top dress during the season to get more level? Sean Williams, just comment me your grass type there, because if it is something like Kikuyu, then you can top dress quite often. It's not easily smothered. Robert Brand, can I ask, why was the seeds covered in a bluish material? Okay, so the seeds that's not brown are coated seeds. So I'm not 100% sure. You'll have to read up what they coated the seed with. I can't tell you whether it was like a capsule type of thing where they try and insulate the seed to help it germinate quicker, or was it only like a fungicide or whatever. So you'll have to read up on where you bought the seeds. Okay, Sean Williams, Kikuyu with Bermuda, trying to take over. Yeah, so both of those grass types, very difficult to smother, so you can top dress fairly heavily. That happens very easily. So guys, if you ever do a renovation where you raise the level on your lawn or something, make sure that you compact that area a little bit before you actually plant the grass on there. Because if it's very fluffy, it will sink down a little bit. So Sean, I hope that answers your question. As soon as the grass blades are sticking through properly and there's a lot of grass leaf blades sticking through, you can top dress again. Okay, so I think that's going to wrap it up, guys. Thank you so much for all the questions. I hope I answered all of your questions correctly. So thank you so much for the guys commenting and getting involved here, helping to keep the chat alive here. Okay, here's a couple of comments quickly coming through. Let me just quickly see what's going on. Yeah, that's my lawn. It's 100% perennial ryegrass. Lekker. Yes, Kyle. Kyle from England, I will try and find you if I'm not already following you on Instagram, if you've got that, because that looks very nice. Well done. Erik Boshoff asks, I also know Erik. Thank you, Erik. He just lives about yes, I can almost gooi a clip into his yard. Kilometer or two that way. Okay, so Erik Boshoff says, when can he start cutting after top dressing? Okay, so to get to lawnmowers, we haven't talked a lot about lawnmowers today, but it's a lacquer time to sharpen your lawnmowers after you've done renovation, because firstly you want to scalp, which will blunt your blades, whether you're using a rotary mower or cylinder mower. And then after that, if you've got bluntish blades and you don't really care too much for that blade, you can mow like very quickly. As soon as the leaf blades are sticking through, it's a lacquer time. So because the more you cut, the more it'll encourage sideways growth. So that's lacquer. Yeah. Striper Man, well done, Merrick, on this live stream. Thank you so much, Striper Man. I hope things are going lacquer there with you. You very close to New York. What did I say? New York. Okay, whatever. So yeah, he's go follow him on Instagram. He's doing, and he's also got a YouTube channel. Go and subscribe there. So he's planting some new grass as well, doing a complete renovation. Lawrence Small-Bright, you're absolutely 100% right. I'm going, maybe no, I'm not going to braai. So yeah, I'm going to go to the golf course, Rand Park now, go and practice, and then, or maybe I'll just practice here on my own green, and then I'll go to church. Okay, Guy Williams, thanks, Merrick. Moy, thanks, Guy. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for the live, Merrick. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I really do appreciate that. Erik Boshoff, only a pleasure. Dankie, geniet jou middag. Thanks for this stream, Eric. I'm sure your lawn loves some water from a stream like this. Marco with all his puns. I know Marco very well. So that's a good one. Thanks. Now, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I really, really do appreciate it. We'll do some more live streams, maybe like, I don't know, seasonal. Maybe in summer do another one. But we'll see how it goes. If there's a lot of questions, sorry to the guys who I haven't replied. If you're watching this video and I haven't replied you on Instagram or in the comments on YouTube or email, I'm really, really sorry. But thank you so much for tuning in today. I really do appreciate that. We'll be looking to do more of these stuff in the future. And yeah, I'll check you guys. Cheers. Bye-bye. Sit off. Sit hom af. Sit die ding af.